Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to Wonderkid Watch. Today we've got Alphonso Davies, the Canadian left midfielder who's currently playing at Bayern Munich. So we'll take a quick look around at his kind of where he's at this stage and we'll go from there. So he did move to Bayern in 2018-19 for £9 million from Vancouver Whitecaps. A fantastic move which led him to win a bunch of stuff already in his career with Bayern. He's currently moved to more of a left back role, having played in a left winger, but can play pretty much anywhere on either side or up front. A very placey player. Stats aren't incredible, but only 19 years old, so they certainly will improve over time, especially if he's playing at Bayern and winning a bunch of trophies. So I can see that certainly happening. But what we'll do is we'll jump straight ahead, 5 years into the future, see where he's at, and hopefully we'll see him progress. Okay, an interesting little turnaround here. So he is now at Borussia Dortmund. Let's see what's happened to get him there. So he is 24 years old, so he's coming into his prime now. Interesting. So he played for Bayern a little, then went straight out on loan to Paris Saint-Germain. Played a whole season with them. It looks like he played a year and maybe a bit. Didn't get any games, so maybe came back to Bayern. Again, didn't play too much. Then off to Borussia Dortmund for £26.5 million. Looks to have performed very well there for them. His stats have certainly improved slightly. A lot more well-rounded in the mentals, definitely. Look at those fantastic yellows in there. Interesting to see him go to a rival club. It's not often you see that. 68 caps now for Canada, getting 8 goals. Let's have a look at those milestones, see where he's kind of at with that. So 2020, Bayern were European champions, DFB Pokal winners and Bundesliga champions, so a triple threat there. And then the year after, they won the Bundesliga. Off to Paris, he did win the French Cup and Ligue 1. And then also must have come back and played enough games to get the German Super Cup as well, or before he left. We then see in 2023, then Bayern being Bundesliga champions and him being part of that. But having moved to Dortmund for, well, potentially £30 million, they won almost everything. DFB Pokal, Bundesliga and the German Super Cup. And then the year after, again, the Bundesliga and Pokal. So it's interesting to see he's moved and done a lot better. It doesn't look like Bayern really gave him the opportunity as much as he'd have wanted. But certainly now he's been able to kind of flourish in Dortmund. And their team have really kind of benefited from that. Is there any specific landmarks we can see? So he became the most expensive Canadian player at £26.5 million in 2023, and then 2025 was appointed as vice captain of Canada. Makes sense. I can imagine he's going to end up being the captain. Certainly a player that's probably worth it with the sort of mentals that he's kind of developing there at 24 years old. But we'll jump again ahead another few more years over to 2030. He'll be 29, come into the just under the 30-year-old bracket, and then we'll see where he's at. Okay, so he's still at Borussia Dortmund. Now hit the century mark with Canada, hitting 115 caps and getting 10 goals for them. Stats, again, fantastic. First touch, a few more technicals have increased and everything like that. His acceleration has decreased slightly, still playing at that left-back role, but has obviously been playing a bit further forward and now able to play a bit more comfortably on that right-hand side if needed. He's, like we say, he's still played at Borussia Dortmund, so he went for that £30 million fee that has been confirmed. Didn't do too well in the 26-27 season, possibly injured that year, but has been performing very well ever since. Let's have a look at his milestones then. So 2025 we saw Bundesliga champions and DFB Pokal winners for Borussia Dortmund, then won the German Bundesliga again, so they've had a couple of years of Bundesliga wins. Didn't quite win it last year but did win the Pokal. So he has continued to do very well with his wins. As we expected, did become a Canadian captain as well there. So it's good to see as well as that. We can see that he's got into a bunch of best 11s for Dortmund and Canada. So a great player, scored 10 goals as well. I'd expect him to possibly play a bit further forward for Canada. I don't know where they're necessarily playing him, but £195,000 a week, so very expensive. But for £30 million isn't too bad of a buy for a left back that can last you a long, long time. Definitely, and obviously win titles with you as well. But let's take another 5 years, see where he's at. If he's retired, where we're going from there. Real Sociedad looks to be, or Real San Sebastian has been the next destination for the Canadian Alphonso Davies. Again, his stats starting to increase now at the age of 34, but still being paid a very large wage. 156 appearances for Canada, still on that 10-goal amount though. Let's take a look at kind of what's happened then. So it looks like he moved off to Chelsea for £16 million, played pretty well for him as well. It doesn't look like he really shirked at that. And then off to Spain with San Sebastian, getting £10 million worth for him as well. Potentially up to 10.5 million. Played very well for them. There's no doubt about that. His stats have started to decrease. His pace, his real acceleration that he's got there, which is giving him proper troubles with regards to oppositions previously. But let's take a look. Has he really been able to win much after that? So they won the Super Cup, bought by Chelsea the year after. The Club World Championship winners, so he did win that, but then it's kind of tailed off slightly now with regards to that. He's not won as much. Stats-wise, again, mentals look fantastic. He works very hard for the team. Certainly a player worth bringing in for the work rate alone. And pretty well-rounded, really. His tackling and marking maybe could be slightly better for a left back, but nothing too drastic there. But let's jump again, see where he's at in another 5 years. Alphonso Davies is now a coach, unemployed at this point. He's 39 years old, has those 156 caps still. It looks like he wants to give back to the nation. So National A licence, so pretty decent level for that. Coaching wise, not incredible. He's got pretty good working with youngsters and very well rounded knowledge of them. So maybe could develop as a bit more of a scout or something like that. It looks like he went off and played for Sevilla as well on a free for the tail end of his season. Milestone wise, not much has happened for him. He's not really had much going on there. Again, Canada transfers, not too much going forward as well. It's been named in the Canada 11 a lot as well there, but they did get Spanish Cup runners-up in the for Real San Sebastian. And the Spanish Super Cup runners-up. So he's been close to winning a couple of things, but nothing that's really stood out for him. But ultimately, a coach that could definitely come in and do a job for you if you really needed someone. But I expect his wages will probably be quite high for that. But I hope this was quite interesting for you. It certainly was for me. Now you'll know kind of how Alphonso Davies does develop in Football Manager, and hopefully you may even be able to help him develop a little further. But thanks very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I will catch you next time.